The migration period was a time of immense chaos, shifting borders, and the dramatic collapse of ancient empires. For centuries, the Eternal City faced wave after wave of invasions that forever changed the course of European history. In this video, I'm gonna show you the full process of painting one of these fierce invaders, alongside an atmospheric historical diorama. So without further ado, let's get started. My name is Vito, welcome to Mahalbo Creative Forge. The centerpiece of this project is unnamed Germanic Chieftain in 120mm scale, created by GS Miniatures. This is a physical, high-quality resin product that comes in an official branded box. The kit consists of 7 parts, they are perfectly fitted and incredibly detailed. The sculpt captures the texture of the fabric, wood and fur exceptionally well. Moreover, the print quality is outstanding. It took me less than 10 minutes to clean the parts up and get the figure ready for degreasing and priming. The casing is solid except for the large torso piece, which is hollow but has very thick walls. Because of this, the figure has a very satisfying, heavy feel for this scale. Overall, this model is absolutely high-end in every sense. The appearance of the Germanic Chieftain clearly shows that he is not one of the Romanized tribes like the Vandals, Burgundians or Visigoths. Instead, he is the leader of a tribe that lived on the very frontier of cultures. They lived on the limits or within the border provinces. Knew perfectly well what Rome was, traded with it, extensively used Roman weapons, fought and served in the Roman legions. Yet as pagans they stayed loyal to their ancient gods, runes and tribal customs. In the 5th century, while the Christianized Germanic tribes were busy dividing the inheritance of Rome, a true flowering of pure Germanic culture was taking place in Northern Europe. This project is set during a moment of the plundering of a large unnamed Roman city by one of the ancestral tribes, such as the Franks, Alemanni or Jutes. To truly capture the atmosphere of this harsh era, a simple figure on a basic base was not enough. A model of this premium quality deserves a proper story, so to elevate the storytelling, I downloaded, scaled up and printed a classic Roman column to build a complete diorama. The column was scaled up to be tall and massive. It stands about 2.5 times higher than the Chieftain, which balances the composition and turns this project into a real piece of visual storytelling. The original piece was printed in 4 parts, a square base with the first round section and 3 upper segments. First off, the heavy base was sawed down to reduce its height to just 1 cm. And here is a bit of irony. Just like in real history, where ancient ruins were used as building materials for new structures, I used the leftover cut-off pieces to expand the lower platform where the figure will stand, gluing the segments together. Next up, the main column parts were joined using superglue. Initially, the plan was to cut the column straight down the middle and use only one half. It felt too massive and asymmetrical at first. However, as I got closer to finishing, the full column actually looked balanced and harmonious, so I decided to keep it whole. As you can see, the column is hollow inside. To give it more structural strength and weight, the inner walls were coated with liquid nails. Finally, the original mounting pins on the Chieftain's feet were removed, and new custom mounts were crafted directly into the modified base. All cracks and gaps were filled using 2 parts epoxy putty. To ensure a rock-solid band between the base and the extra platform, the seam was reinforced with the mix of superglue and sand. As the final touch to enhance the historical context even further, I scratched a triple Tivas victory rune into the column. This is exactly what the conquerors would have done in a fallen enemy city. With that in mind, let's stop the chatter and watch the actual painting. Enjoy the process. Hope you're gonna learn something useful. This project turned out to be more challenging than it looked at first, right from the preparation stage all the way to the actual painting. Things went wrong early on and I had to redo certain parts multiple times. I started overcomplicating things by overworking details on the figure itself that could have been simplified. Also, the column, even at this small scale, required every single detail to be rendered, while being quite massive with a lot of surface area to cover. I tried to simulate a specific light source by creating realistic shadows cast by the column's ridges. But the final look turned out very strange, so I decided to make all the shadows uniform. This breaks the realism of the scene a little bit, but it keeps the aesthetic balance. However, on the figure itself, the simulated light falling from the left side is preserved. I also had a few questions about the choice to put patches on the warrior's tunic. This figure was created based on the artwork you see on the screen. I get that it was done for extra detail, but I feel like it would have been better to replace them with more fitting elements. But that's just my personal nitpick. On the other hand, his steel spiked club fits the character perfectly. Also, the face sculpt, his expressions, the wrinkles, the hairstyle, it's just amazing for such small scale. And the large fur cape is so well made that you don't even need to add any extra fur texture. Ultimately, I'm very happy with both my idea for this diorama and the final paint job. Also, the figure itself is worth any single penny. All works by this creator feature outstanding detail and craftsmanship. The whole project, from cleanup to varnishing, took about 10 days of casual work. The diorama is complete. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time. Take care, my dear barbarians. The Roman Empire won't plunder itself.